It says we're live. Yay. Well, hello, guys. It is Joe Carmel and Tijuana. That's my special guest.
Hi, everyone.
We have a celebrity in the house. I know she
Don't
don't
you
like it when I
start.
say that. But that's the closest thing I have to a star, okay, guys? Try
I'm
to bring it up. Yes, we're live.
gonna pull up your channel so I can read the chat.
Hi, Miss Topaz. Yay. So while Miss T is bringing up my channel, I just wanted to do a little housekeeping. First and foremost, prayers to all those affected by the plane crash in Washington, D.C. That is just really sad. And so if you could pray for them. Also, I have a lot of street traffic. So just a FYI, if the sirens go off, I'll probably put it on mute. Okay. Um, and the one thing that I forgot to mention, I even forgot to mention it to Miss T, is every Thursday of the month of today in the month of February, we'll be doing a live at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard, 5 p.m. Central Standard, and then 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. All right. So welcome. Come on in, everybody. I see Miss Topaz and Malaya. I said right.
I guess I got to go out of chat to say share it.
And Tracy.
Share.
She is working a swing shift. We'll make the block this weekend. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right.
I'm over here just telling people I'm live with you.
Oh, that's sweet of you. Thank you. Not necessary. Hi, Nancy and Irish Sail Lady. I am not used to this, and I don't plan on making this a regular thing. I will tell you that. I love the month of February, Black History Month, and I love doing Juneteenth. So those are the only times I probably would do a live, okay? So just give you a FYI. But I have the expert in the house, and she knows how to talk to people.
I don't know because I just read my Facebook post. I got to go in here and correct this, girl. Oh my goodness. It is.
For this week, we're going to go over 4 blocks. All right. I'm letting Miss T do her thing until she's ready to answer some questions for me.
My screen keeps putting up a little small. It's making my keyboard smaller.
Let's see.
Okay.
There we go.
And I want to save it. Okay, now I want to go back over here. I'm almost ready, Joe Carmel.
No worries, no worries. No worries at all.
Decided to share it, and then it's kicked me out of everything.
And I probably should have put something in the community post that tells you how often I do lives, right?
Right. This is different for both of us. So we both in the learning process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. So I asked Miss T to come and join us today because she's done the Underground Railroad sampler before. And so I just wanted to pick her brain as usual. When was the first time you did the Underground Railroad sampler? Do you remember?
2000?
2000?
2000 to 2004. I just posted it on my Facebook group, which is so funny.
Okay.
Because I made I had my brother, my late brother, he came home from some place where he was with some friends and they saw an Underground Railroad quilt. And he was just so fascinated with that quilt. And I had the book already, but hadn't done it. But I still went and did some research just to make sure this was the book I wanted to use.
Right.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I decided that I'd make him one. So since he was so, you know, when you're making quilts for people, you want to make sure that it's something that they're going to love.
Yes.
And his excitement in talking about a quilt that was depicting the Underground Railroad was, he was so excited about that. I made his quilt in about 2 weeks from start to finish.
Wow.
I was on it. I'm like, that's when you make quilts for people.
Yeah. And you know, they're going to cherish them and treat them well. I'll say that. What kind of fabrics did you use? Scrap?
I just used fabrics that I had already in my stash because I was just going for it. By that time, I had plenty of fabrics in my stash. So since I just pulled fabrics that I had and just went with it. And I knew I wanted it to look male-y. Right. So I made sure that it was blues and reds in it, but you know, then the other colors, greens and neutrals and things like that. But
not too many flowers or
more solids. Tone on tone.
Which was the hardest block for you? Or for newer I say confident beginners, which ones do you think that they need to slow down and take their time with?
I think sometimes because of technique like the wagon wheel block, just because you piecing something and then you're making a circle, but the way she uses, I think she uses interfacing to stitch it on. It makes it a lot easier, so it's not as complicated as it is. I think if you're making 12-inch blocks, it will be easier for newbies over making 6-inch blocks. And that's from my experience of when we sold that 4-star General. Right. It's amazing to me how many people can make a block in 12 inches and they were stressed when it came to making it in 6 inches. Right. So the wagon wheel block, which is on our wall, so they'll see them today.
Oh, okay. Awesome. For me too, when I started working on it, the wagon wheel, and I sewed it together, I tried to make it a little bigger, which wasn't a good idea. So I'm gonna have to use interfacing to put it all together. But I do one, and I don't know if I like it. So we'll see about that. What else was it? Is there anything that you would do differently? I see that you have blocks before you doing it this time.
No, I actually enjoyed the entire process. I feel like Eleanor Burns did a fantastic job with this book, and that you cut for the entire quilt at one time, and you put pieces into baggies, so you're only touching fabric one time. So if you make it that way, I think that's the way to use this book, is how she has printed it and not go block by block. And then she has the labels in the back for you to put on your like you print them onto printer labels. And and then you can put this on top of your fabrics as you're cutting. So when you got the fabrics in the bag, you know exactly what each fabric is for. I felt that was genius. I actually did it that way. The blocks that I have behind me, I have not, and I'll show them. I have not made these blocks. The quilt that I made, again, I gave it to my brother, and it's been since stolen. When he passed, he had the quilt like a month before he passed, and then the quilt disappeared.
Oh, that's too bad.
Right after he passed, because we asked about it, and the family he was with don't know anything about it.
Somebody loved it more.
Yes. So this one here is from another friend of mine that passed away years ago. And she had started this because I had already done it. So I didn't start a second one.
Oh, okay.
So these are her blocks, and she has the majority of the blocks are done. I got to make a couple. And she used, I thought it was like reproductions until I pulled them out and realized that it's patriotic. Oh, it is florals and stripes and stars, but she's got flowers as well. But I thought it was reproduction fabrics. So that's one of the reasons it had been sitting for so long. But I didn't want her blocks to just go to waste because I knew exactly what it was. So that's where I kept it. So this is motivation. So thank you, Joe, for motivation to get this quilt done.
You're welcome. And I think that's very unique. Patriotic quilts
For Underground Railroad.
for Underground Railroad. When I bought the this, I think I've already mailed one to you, but when I bought
great.
this,
Uh-huh.
she in the packet, they send all of these things.
Oh, so you got
talking about their stickers.
So you got the stickers too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, you were supposed to, like, in the front part where she tells you your fabric requirements. Let me
so I
help other people out, because maybe
system.
Somebody else might miss it. See, I'm one of those people that I'll buy a quilt book and don't even have any intention of making anything in it, because I read them just like fiction books. So when I saw it, I realized that she had a swatch page on page number 6. And so then she has a cut page where you cut the entire quilt. And let me see where that starts. The instructions for cutting your quilt starts on page 12, but she gives you each fabric swatch, and then she tells you whether you're making a 12-inch block or a 6-inch block. And so you cut that one piece of fabric for the entire quilt wherever it's being used, and the labels come in with that, and you have 12 bags for each block.
Oh, that's excellent. So, I guess I should have read that part.
I'm one of those people that is sitting
very visual.
Kick back and read, because this whole book was interesting to me. I like that I had a little bit of history with every block as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Janine. Hi, Carol. Hi, June. Hi, Brenda. Let's say hi to guys.
Hi, Janine.
Look who's on. I got a celebrity on. I'll stop. I promise I'll stop.
You mentioned this when I was watching your video. I'm like, oh yeah, and I mentioned it on my channel. So that's why Joe Carmel asked me to come. But I am so glad because I can get this done.
Awesome. Awesome sauce. What else was I was going to ask you? Oh, does anyone have any questions for Miss T since she's done it before? Feel free to ask.
Hey, June Hansen.
But if not, let's just go forward with the blocks. Let's do Jacob's ladder first. Is that one already done for you?
Yes.
Okay. And that was I like to research too. So I looked up this in the Underground Railroad, but I also looked it up in Barbara Brackman's book. Facts and Fabrications, Unraveling the History of Quilts and Slavery, which is another really good book. But like you said, I prefer this one for this quilt.
This is a beautiful block that you can use as a standalone quilt with the diagonals that create it. It's a gorgeous block.
Absolutely. And what I learned, and you can correct me if I'm incorrect, it's alternating light and dark squares representing the difficult journey to the north. Essentially, it's a pattern symbolized by the challenging path to escape slavery, to get to Canada or get to the north.
Yes.
So can we see your block?
All right. I put pins in them because I didn't want my fan to blow them out.
Yay.
But this is the block here.
Yes. Oh, that's pretty.
And like I said, with this strong diagonal that's created, when you alternate every row up and down, it's a beautiful quilt just by itself. I made one of these when I first started quilting.
I've never, this is my first time making the block. I'm using like Kansas Trouble.
So you're using reproductions?
Not quite. You know, your BFF gave me a little lecture, but I didn't feel confident with knowing what to choose. So this is Kansas Troubles.
Okay.
But
not reproduction.
Yeah. And so I plan to make a quilt because this was really pretty straightforward, pretty simple
Mhm.
block for me to do.
Yeah,
All
gorgeous.
right. Thank you, Yo Patty G. Carol says she's making two at a time, African print and Civil War.
That's
That will
cool.
be interesting.
And if
Yeah,
I was to make it again, I think I would use African fabrics as well.
yeah.
Seen some made in African fabrics and they're really pretty.
And it would be very appropriate. That would be really appropriate. Next up is the monkey wrench. And my research that I looked up. And the monkey wrench is very similar to the churn dash, correct? Yeah.
Um,
Or is
no,
it different because it
it's
has the
well, it is. I think what I when I look at the bigger block, to me,
Mhm.
that's the churn dash and the monkey wrench is in the small one, but that's just me.
Okay.
But maybe, like when you look at the older books and stuff, maybe it's different in there, but I always grew up thinking that what she has as monkey wrench is really churn, just a double churn dash. But the quilt on page 38,
Uh-huh.
that is a monkey wrench to me.
Okay. You look.
Um,
So Miss T really read this book, guys, and I looked at the
I'm
pictures apparently.
no, I'm just
No,
it's
this is
just
good.
my opinion because
I love it.
from me doing sampler quilts, that was one of the first things I started with was sampler quilts.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
we didn't have all of these books back then that had all of these different block names. And I'm finding out that blocks got like 7 to
That's the
10
one you're talking
names.
about?
Yes. To
Yeah.
me,
So,
that's more of the monkey wrench. And you can see where it's different in the middle.
yes. Yep. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can I see yours? She'll be tired of me, y'all.
Forgot that part. I'm over here ready for the history lesson. All right.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I really like the thought of doing it in red, white, and blues.
Yeah, she did a
I like
beautiful job. I gotta now find some fabric because I found fabric that I think she was using for the borders, but I'm not really sure. But I got them here, but I'm not sure. But I don't know if I'm gonna use them. I don't know if I like them.
Oh, I like that
The
blue
fabric.
green. Yeah.
I like some of them. Like
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I want two blues because
Right.
they're going to be touching each other. The blues will end up
Yeah,
touching each
true.
other.
True. Here's my monkey wrench.
Ooh.
I'm fussy cutting when I can. I'm actually having a fun time
Ooh. I
doing it.
love
I
the
will say that.
center.
Yep. I'm sorry, I should put it there. There we go.
Yeah, I'm still looking, girl. And I like the diagonal lines on it too.
I should have had them all going the same way, but it is what it is today.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I like it.
Good.
My favorite block so far, we'll say that. And that block is the first block, right? And it's basically telling the slaves to gather their tools together to get ready to escape, right?
Exactly.
All
and
right.
sometimes you had to go to the what they call the most knowledgeable person on the plantation was known as the monkey wrench. And so sometimes they would go to him to get special tools or things like that as well, or instructions that they needed, advice.
All right. That's something I didn't know either. Thank you. Let's see, any questions? Compliments. June says they're both very pretty. Janine, wow.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, and Tracy, so nice blocks. Thanks, guys. Next up is the wagon wheel, right?
Yeah, this is the one that I think it would mess with people's heads because it's something different with if you're just a traditional piecer.
Yep.
And so this is
that looks really good.
What we have.
Yay.
And she hand applicated to the back, which I also did too. It's like certain quilts, because I felt like this quilt probably would never be washed. So on those particular quilts, I will go ahead and do handwork because I know nobody is going to sit on the stitches or anything like that.
It's going to be treated well.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I cut out my templates, I put them on cardboard because I'm really trying to use what I have. And
Mm-hmm.
then I made them a little too big, right? So that was my theory. The theory didn't work out. This is what I got so far, but I haven't put it on interfacing. But I had to take out one of my spokes to make it work. So,
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
it came
yeah.
back
So
down.
I
Okay.
still have more work to do on that, guys. All right.
So are you gonna hand sew it or use machine?
I'm gonna use I'm gonna use a machine.
Okay, because
I'm
there are
just not
so many
confident
stitches
enough.
you can use on the
Yeah.
machine that will
The
work as
blank,
well.
I can't use this one, so I have to use my other machine. This
Mm-hmm.
is a straight stitch, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I can do that.
Yeah,
Um,
like a blind, sometimes like the little, well, there's like
like
a
the
blind
one,
hand stitch that'll do like 2 stitches forward, one over, and you can
yes,
use, they say invisible thread is better. I have not used invisible thread in years when it was really, really bad. But
I hadn't
so,
thought about that. Okay, I was just
mhm.
gonna try to find a color that will complement
Blend.
all of them. Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe a variegated might work. I didn't think about that.
Lay a dove gray or something like that. If you've got a gray, just lay it around the edge and see what it looks like. I
Uh-huh.
find when I'm quilting multicolors, I use that. I also use like a heather brown
Okay.
and which is weird. I also use a blue. It's
Oh.
kind of like a slate blue because it's not a bright blue.
Uh-huh. It's like a
Um,
dull. Okay.
mhm.
All right.
It's
Thank you.
weird, but colors work with a lot of colors. Hi,
Wow.
Claudette Bettis.
Hi, Claudette. How are you? Yay. The wagon wheel. It was a signal to the slaves to pack up the items that were needed to travel by wagon and that they would use while traveling. All right, guys. Last one is the Carpenter star.
It's one of my favorites.
It
One of
is
the
so
prettiest.
cute. I can see it from here. It's so
It's
cute.
one of the prettiest blocks.
Yay.
I think
Oh, I love that.
most of
That's
these
good.
blocks are made on a 9-patch grid, and this one is way much smaller.
Yeah. One thing I did want to mention about it, I don't want to show any because it's not my,
Mm-hmm.
but I loved how she broke it down. That was
Uh-huh.
really good for me. And then I just squared up each block. I haven't sewed it together, but I'm gonna do it in quadrants. So I have my quadrant ready. Let me see if I can piece it out real quick. Real quick. Here we go.
It's like I said, Eleanor Burns, she's always been one of the best teachers as far as making something so complicated very simple.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
started quilting with her once I did my first one. My first quilt was from a block of the month at the fabric shop, but then my next quilt, I did hers. I did a couple of her books.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I didn't even take any more. I didn't even take any classes. I just went straight to her books. She's very thorough.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that if you're a visual person,
And she's got the
has all
pictures.
the pictures. Yeah. Exactly. And you know I'm a picture person. Like, I guess I should have put this together. All right. Last one. So mine is not sewn together yet, but I will sew it together as soon as this live is over. Has anyone else started on their blocks yet? Carol, I saw that you picked out
Well,
your
Tucker,
fabrics.
Kevin's in here. He talking about, hey, Rumi, who is
Hey,
this
Rumi.
special guest?
Yay!
He's
I
nothing
have
but
a
trouble.
celebrity. And she's expensive, man. She already got her
Hi,
blocks
Sue
together, and
GSD and
I'm
Emily Zahoot.
Yay. All right, this is what mine's gonna look like after I sew it together.
Ooh, look at that. It is
The only thing
gorgeous.
is I gotta find another blue, a different tone of blue. I feel like I need a lighter
Where?
blue too.
In the
Just
middle?
in the whole quilt top.
Oh, okay. I
So
was
when I
getting ready
cut
to
up
see
my
if you were gonna
colors,
start
I'm
over.
Hmm?
Okay. I thought you were saying you were starting that block over. It's like, no, it's beautiful.
No, not this one.
Mhm.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yay.
So then the Carpenter's wheel
Hmm.
history.
Oh, the block symbolizes the alliance on Jesus, and the dark patterns in the block pointed to a safe direction. Is that what
Mhm.
you have? Okay. It's
Yes.
just so interesting to me how different people, and I guess that's normal, different perceptions of the blocks, because I also downloaded and it's in the description below, but
Mhm.
there's other blocks that people use. And
Yeah,
I
I have a
really like
quilt too that has different
setting.
blocks in it.
I like this setting.
Mhm.
And it
That's
actually
beautiful.
tells
Is
you
that a somebody Sue in the middle?
what'd you say?
I couldn't see if that was a somebody Sue in the middle.
I think it's supposed to be Harriet Tubman
Oh, okay. I couldn't
because
tell.
they show you how
There
to
it is. Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
and
And
they
who
show
is
you
that?
how to draw her.
Oh,
So if you are really like an artsy
wow.
person, or you could do it with fabric. I hadn't thought about that. Blow it up and um
Is
kind
that
of do it.
online?
Yes, it's in the link below, but I'll send it to you. You
Okay, well
want to
that's good.
email? Okay, yeah.
Or I can get the link too. You don't have
Okay.
to.
I don't mind at all. All right. Thank you, Rumi.
Has it been discussed how it's going to work? Kevin says he's sorry he was late. He had to put the chickens to
Yeah,
bed.
kind of forgot to mention that we're making 4 blocks a week. And we're just going in order of Eleanor Burns' book. So if you want to do it differently, you can, but that's how I'm going to be doing it. And every Thursday, we're going to go over 4 blocks, their history, and I'll have another special guest, I hope, soon on a Thursday, talking about fabric. And until we get it done. And we're going to do it every Thursday, this Thursday included, until February 27th. And that's going to be the wrap-up day. Yep. So start as you're making your block, start thinking about what type of sashing you might want to do, and how much fabric you might need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know there's different settings. Have you
Yeah,
noticed that?
I did. I saw it and it was fantastic. Did you see the
The
flying geese?
one, that's the one I think
Yeah.
I'm going to do with this one because I did the plain one before.
Yep. And when she talks about lattice, she's talking about sashing, right?
Right.
Okay. I just never heard lattice before, so
Yes.
that was a different thing. I have to make sure I'm not showing any. Use my Post-its and cover up some stuff. I really like that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot more work, but I think the end result is beautiful. And that's what I'm going to use here. And that's why I think the two blues will run into each other.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to find some kind of background fabric,
Something. Yes.
something, or different color, something. Not two blues.
I love the quilt, the border that looks like it's strip pieced.
Uh-huh.
It's got 2 of the background and then a red one. It's on page, just saw it.
The border, it
It's
looks
on
like,
page 144.
okay.
It's the outer border.
Oh yeah, they
I-
used the stripe. I don't
yeah,
know if they made the stripes or if they used the stripe fabric
it looks
because
like it's a fabric, huh?
because it looked like they just they had to buy more fabric so that they could get the length.
Yep.
Get all the stripes out of it. And that's cool too.
So I really love that one.
Yeah, I saw that one too. And
Yeah.
it still has the flying geese setting too. So yeah, Carol says, where did you find Harriet? She put a link in the description box of this video, Carol.
Yeah.
I need to figure out which size to make. That's Kevin. Do you have a book, Kevin?
It's the PDF. Where's Mr. Kevin?
Yeah, I was trying to see. I think we're just delayed a little bit.
We are. It's about 20 seconds delay.
Okay. So it takes a little minute. He says, I sure do. Okay, so that's good. Because that's like the first step. And like I said, if you missed it earlier, I do recommend like printing the labels in the back if you just for those that don't read, because I know as I've gotten older I do that sometimes, so I'm in that mode now. In the back of the book she gives you these little pages here that you can copy on a copy machine and make labels, or you can copy them on paint paper and just pin them if you want to, if you don't want to go out and invest in labels. But you cut the entire quilt. You have 12 bags. She tells you which bag is for which block. You mark each bag, and then you put your pieces in there. And it goes a lot faster. But you got to have all your fabric, though, which you have a swatch page on page 6 in the book. You can copy that, too. Instead of me messing up my books, I tend to copy. Only time I write in my books if I'm doing a correction or something different.
Absolutely. And Rumi, let me know. I have extra and I'll send them to you. No problem. Right.
But yeah, so I like I said, I enjoyed it the first time. I did it in a matter of days. I'm going over here now to Facebook to see when did I actually do that first one, girl.
And Miss Topaz says she has some cut working on fat eights, takes careful planning. Absolutely. I almost ran out of fabric on one of my on the Carpenter block. So yeah.
So I started at October 29th, 2004 to November 11th, 2004.
Wow.
And
that was
then
quick.
did it in 2 weeks, girl. I was so excited that he was excited.
Do you have a picture up?
I have it on my Facebook page, but
okay.
I can't put it up here.
No worries.
Do that.
So go to T Quilts Facebook page and we can see hers.
It's on my personal page.
Oh, it's on your
okay. I'll put a photo up over in the I put it up because it came up. I was on my old website. Well, I was on my website that has my photos, and I went to some of my older quilts because I had them listed by years.
Oh, good.
And then remember that quilt never was found, so I put up like missing quilt thing, you know.
Well, I'm gonna go check it out. I want to see.
I just posted it today. Yeah. All right. Well, any questions, I guess, before we get off, because we'll be out of here and y'all have questions.
Right.
And thank you, Kevin, for your questions. And Carol.
Yes. Yeah.
Miss T put the pedal to the metal when she made that quilt. Yes. that was when I used to bake everything, and I had the stove on a timer, girl. Before the phones had all of these.
Oh, yeah, you're still working full time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was making that quilt.
I understand that. Yes.
Tracy said something.
I can't see it.
Yeah, that's part of the paint, isn't it? She said she used it and thrifted. I don't know what that is. And then for most of the fabric, I only bought 2 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. That
Oh,
heart is a pain, isn't it?
yeah, it is. You can't see anything.
Mm-mm.
Well, awesome. When you guys finish your quilts, if you would just do like hashtag 2025 uh Underground Railroad Sampler, something like that. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll put it in the description. I'll edit the description and put it in the description below.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Miss T, Miss Celebrity. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. I know you're
Oh,
super
you're
busy.
welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
All right.
All
If
right.
no more questions, we are going to get out of here, guys.
All right. And thank you. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Let's see if I know how to end it. Oh, I do. Bye, guys. All right. Thank you, Miss T.
Bye-bye.
Okay.